This video contains 4 sections that will help you understand how to use TimeClock Plus. These sections are clocking in and out using a device, such as a computer, clocking in and out using the kiosk, correcting missed punches, and reviewing the dashboard, which includes approving your time. This training video will demonstrate how to clock in and out on the web clock. In order to clock into TimeClock Plus, you need a device on the district network, your F number, the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and the URL for TimeClock Plus. The URL is timeclock.k12northstar.org. It is recommended that you bookmark this address. The first thing you do is access the time clock by going to timeclock.k12northstar.org. Remember to bookmark this site. You know you're in the right spot when you see FNSBSD1 in the company spot. Your badge or ID number is your F number without the F. Select Clock In. Your PIN number is the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. Select Log On. Verify who you are and that you want to clock in, and then select Continue. You won't see this screen unless you are someone who has more than one job code. Select the correct job code and then select Continue. Clock operation is successful. You are now clocked in. The last thing you need to do each day is clock out. Follow the normal procedure. Enter your badge or ID number, again your F number without the F. Select Clock Out. Enter your PIN number, which again is the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. And select Log On. Verify who you are and that you want to clock out. And select Continue. Clock operation successful. Select OK. And you are now clocked out. Staff members are required to clock in and out for lunch. Remember, clock in when you arrive at work, clock in and out for lunch, and then clock out at the end of each day.
Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to use the time clock kiosk. Most district sites are equipped with the time clock kiosk in a convenient location. Let's get clocked in. To activate the kiosk, simply touch the screen. As with most logins, there is a 2-part process for accuracy and security. Using the keypad, enter the badge ID, which is your F number without the F. Then select Continue or Enter. Again, using the keypad, enter your PIN, which is the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and select Continue. Verify your name, select Clock In, Continue, select your job code, Continue. You are now clocked in. To use your fob, simply touch the fob to the reader, select Continue, select your job code, Continue. You are now clocked in.
In this video, you will learn the process for entering missed punches on those rare occasions when you miss clocking in or out. There are occasions when you might miss clocking in and out. Some of these reasons include you're getting in the habit of clocking in and out during the implementation phase of TimeClock Plus and simply forgot. Perhaps you were scheduled at the beginning or end of the day to be at a location that is not on the district network, or for other reasons that will be determined to be acceptable by your supervisor. If you miss clocking in or out, TimeClock Plus will let you know. In the following example, I wasn't able to clock in and I'm now trying to clock out. I enter my F number without the F and select Clock Out. I enter my PIN number and select Log On. TimeClock Plus tells me that I missed clocking in, so I select Continue. Here it tells me when I last clocked out, and it asks me if I want to enter the missed punch manually. I select Continue. In this slot, I simply add when I should have clocked in. I override the system, select the clock, and make sure that I want to clock in at PM and hit OK. I have to enter a note, so I am going to add that I was at training at UAF and select Continue. This note can be something that is agreeable to you and your supervisor. I'm clocking in, so I'm going to select the job that I'm working on and hit Continue. It wants me to confirm what I selected, and I hit Continue, and I have now been successfully clocked in and out. Let's review the process for missed punches. Whenever you miss a clock in or clock out, enter the reason you missed clocking in or out. Enter the time that you should have clocked in or out. It's good practice to send an email to your timekeeper with the information on why you missed clocking in or out. And don't make missing clocking in or out a habit. It is the employee's responsibility to clock in at their normal start time, clock out and in for lunch, and then clock out at the end of each day. Reviewing the Time Clock Plus dashboard. In this video, we will explore the Time Clock Plus dashboard. Let's take a look at the TCP dashboard. Remember to log in with your F number without the F, and select Log On to Dashboard. Enter your PIN number, and select Log On. On this dashboard, you can do many things. They include clocking in, clocking out, changing your job code, and reviewing your requests. However, we're going to focus on this section of the dashboard called View. Start by clicking on View, and then select Hours. The current pay period is what your dashboard will default to. You can go back and view prior pay periods by selecting the previous button. Now we're going to take a closer look at the View Hours dashboard. The first column, designated by the bell, is the column that shows whether your supervisor has approved your time or not. If you see an orange ball, it means that your supervisor hasn't approved your time yet. If you look at the previous pay period, you can see the time was approved because the orange ball is no longer present. The Employee Approval column, designated by the E, and the check mark is the column that each employee should be reviewing and checking. It is recommended that you review and approve your time each day. You can approve your time by checking the box. Checking the box shows that you reviewed your time and agree that this is the time you worked. This is particularly important for any leave you have taken. The Notes column is where employees should enter additional information they want the timekeeper or supervisor to know about that day. Notes could be for reasons why you might have missed a clock in or out or an explanation of leave. You can see in this screen that the employee added a note on 10:30 and 10:31. To add a note, simply click on the note, select Add Note, and type in your note. And select Save. The Time In column shows the rounded time for when you clock in. Remember, Time Clock Plus rounds up or down in 7-minute increments for every 15 minutes on the clock. You'll see what this means in the next column. In the Actual Time In column, this shows the exact time that you clocked in. As you can see, on 10:31, this employee actually clocked back in from lunch at 1:54 p.m. and the clock rounded the clock to 2 o'clock p.m. Then, on 11:02, the employee clocked back in from lunch at 1:03 and the time clock rounded that time back to 1 o'clock. It's important to note that while employees' time is being rounded for up to 7 minutes before or after the quarter hour, supervisors also see this actual time clock in and may take disciplinary actions for employees who are consistently late for work. The Time Out and Actual Time Out columns function the same way that the Time In and Actual Time In columns work. You will note that the first line of the Time Out column says timesheet. What this means is that leave was taken and TCP has noted that information. You can see in the job code column that personal leave was taken that day. The hours column and the shift total column show the amount of time you've been credited for that segment of time. You can see that on 10/31, this employee worked a morning shift from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. for a total of 5 hours. She clocked out for lunch and then worked an afternoon shift from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. for a total of 3 hours. This gives the day total of 8 hours, which is this employee's scheduled hours per day. The day column should reflect the number of hours you were scheduled to work each day. If you were scheduled to work a 7.5-hour day, then this total should be 7.5. It is important to review your daily hours to ensure that your daily totals equal the hours you are scheduled to work. The week total column reflects the number of hours you have worked in that week. You can see that this employee worked 40 hours the first week of this pay period, and so far in the second week of the pay period, the employee has worked 13 hours. This total changes throughout the day to reflect the current number of hours worked. The final column is the job code column. What this actually shows is the job code or codes associated with your position and whatever leave you have taken. If you enter your leave in ASAP, the leave from ASAP will flow into Time Clock Plus each night and be recorded in this column. Finally, let's look at the total hours for this pay period. You can see that this employee has been credited with 53 hours for this pay period. The total comes from the work week total. It also shows any overtime that has been worked or leave that has been taken. For more information on Time Clock Plus, go to www.k12northstar.org/page/5818.